Hello there. Today, as part of my en-primeur adventures, I'm in Pessac-Léognan and I'm lucky enough to be visiting Haut-Bailly, one of the Grand Cru Classé of Pessac-Léognan. I apologise for the noise of the tractor, evidently that's in the vineyards of La Louviere next door. So to take a quick look at the wine here, what we've got is a wine that's predominantly Cabernet Sauvignon, 58% Cabernet Sauvignon, with 40% of Merlot and 2% of Cabernet Franc. Now 2024, a vintage of climatic extremes, shall we say. It caused quite a few problems for the winemakers and for the people working in the vineyard to try and control the ripening of the fruit in an atmosphere where there was a large amount of rain in portions of the season, when there were extremes of heat and quite dry periods. So having started with a warm start to spring, the rain fortunately abated long enough to allow flowering to happen very consistently. There was sufficient heat and sunshine through the period of June, July, August and some of September to ensure that tannins ripened quite well on the skins of the grapes. However, some extreme rain during September caused problems with fungal infections. So there was quite a lot of mildew. Therefore it was important to sort carefully both when picking and when the grapes were received at the winery. It tended to be that the wines were macerated very carefully. What I'm hearing winemakers talk about instead of extraction is the infusion of tannins. There are some delicate tannins. Tannin levels aren't quite as high this year, but then because of the fact that the alcohols are quite low, the tannins are fairly obvious and the acidities are fresh. These will be approachable wines, and they're probably not wines for long aging. So let's have a look at the wine, shall we? Just quickly, you're looking at a wine that has a nice dark ruby red, touches of purple there. Swelling it, it has 13% alcohol, but it seems to be clinging to the glass fairly readily. It's not opaque. It's not a particularly deeply pigmented wine. So let's see what I make of the aroma, shall we? Now, quite typically for Haut-Bailly, this is a wine with beautiful, clean, fresh aromas. There's a really lovely sort of juicy red plum, compote of red fruits. Perhaps there's a little bit of red currant and quite a sort of pure black currant hint there. I'm saying pure black currant because I find it surprising to find that sort of black curranty note without perhaps the leafiness that older vintages would have had. And I think that really does show the degree of selection that's going on in winemaking these days. Those grapes that aren't ripe aren't making their way into the fermenting vats. So let's have a taste. The wine's got a lovely freshness for a start. It's got a smooth structure, it's juicy, it's jammy. Again, this lovely compote of red fruits, and that's being complemented by mocha touches. And I think the mocha, the chocolate, there's a smoothness of texture that's lovely. This isn't a huge, big wine. It has a bit of grip, but it's not astringent. And because the alcohol is balanced, it means that the lovely fresh acidity is able to just encourage those beautiful perfumes to come out on the finish, where there are some sweet spices coming through from the barrel. I mean, this is a wine that will probably spend 16 months in barrel. They'll be using 50% new oak. It's probably only been in barrel for 3 or 4 months now, so there will be more oak notes coming through, but already you've got those sort of hints of cinnamon, a bit of nutmeg, perhaps a gingery touch, alongside those lovely chocolatey, smooth notes. So there's a wine, there's a lot going on. To me, this stands out as being very typically in the style of Haut-Bailly. It's elegant, it's clean, it's a well-made modern wine. It may not be a wine for putting in the cellar for 30 years, but it is going to provide some really good drinking, probably from 4 or 5 years' time through 10, 12, 15 years. I'm hoping we'll find pricing will be good, and if that's the case, this could be a really attractive wine to think about buying. So thank you so much for watching. I do hope you've enjoyed the tasting. If you have, do please press the like button. If you'd like to watch more of these tastings, do please subscribe to our YouTube channel, and that way also you can set yourself an alert and be notified every time we release a new tasting. If you have any comments, please pop them in the comments box below. And if you have any friends you think might like to watch the videos, please pass them on to them, that would be great. I'll leave a link in the notes below to the Wine Searcher webpage for this vintage of this wine, and that way you'll be able to see once it's released where it's available, at what price, and also on those pages there's an awful lot of background detail that you should be able to use so that you can make an informed buying decision there. So thank you again for watching, and I do hope you'll manage to come and join us for another tasting in the very near future. Till then, bye for now.